my name is Emily. I never imagined my love story would turn into a battle for dignity. I came from nothing. My parents worked hard, but we were always poor. Still, I believed love could conquer everything. That belief was tested the day I met my future mother-in-law. I fell in love with David in college. He was rich, handsome, and full of kindness. He treated me like I mattered, even when the world didn't. When he proposed, I thought life was finally giving me a fairy tale. But then came Margaret Wilson, my mother-in-law. From the very first moment, she despised me. She looked at me with those sharp eyes, dressed in her pearls and luxury. "So, you're the girl my son has chosen?" she said. Her words were knives. Her tone was pure disgust. That night, I overheard her whispering to David, "She's poor. She will never fit in. You're making a mistake." But David defended me. He said he loved me. And so, despite her hatred, we got married. Marriage should have been happiness. But for me, it was a battlefield. At family dinners, Margaret would mock me. "Emily, dear, maybe you should take cooking lessons. Presentation matters, you know." She compared me to David's wealthy ex-girlfriend. She whispered to her friends, "She's only after his money." Her words cut deeper than any knife. I cried in silence, night after night, but I stayed strong, for David. Then came the day that changed everything. One winter evening, news broke like a storm. David's father, Richard Wilson, was arrested. Corporate fraud. Wilson Enterprises collapsed overnight. The empire they had built was gone. The mansion was filled with fear. Reporters camped outside. Margaret sat in silence. Shaking, her pearls no longer mattered. Her pride was gone. For the first time, she tasted helplessness. And strangely, she had no one else to turn to but me. The family bank accounts were frozen. Credit cards canceled. Their so-called friends vanished. The Wilsons, once respected, were now disgraced. I could have walked away. After all the pain she gave me, I had every reason to. But I didn't. Because love is not about revenge. Love is about standing tall when others fall. I went back to my old life. Took up 2 jobs again. I cleaned houses. I worked late shifts at diners. I used every dollar I earned to put food on the Wilsons' table. Margaret hated asking for help. Her pride resisted, but hunger broke her pride. She watched me, day after day, keeping her family alive. Her sharp eyes softened. She began to realize the girl she despised was the one saving her family. Months passed. The scandal dragged on. But I never gave up. I paid the bills. I kept the house running. I comforted David when he broke down. One night, Margaret came into the kitchen while I was cooking. She stood silently, then whispered, "Emily, thank you." It was the first kind word she had ever spoken to me. Tears filled my eyes. In that moment, years of pain began to melt. Time moved on. The Wilsons never regained their old empire. But something more valuable happened. They became human. They became humble. Margaret especially changed. She started helping me cook. She started asking about my parents. She began to treat me like a daughter. One evening, she held my hand and said, "I was wrong about you. You're the reason." We survived. "You're not just part of this family. You are this family." Her words healed wounds that money never could. Today, we live a simpler life. No mansions, no fancy cars, just love, respect, and unity. And sometimes, I look back and think, if I had given up, if I had walked away, None of this would have been possible. I saved my mother-in-law's family, but in truth, I also saved her heart. Because sometimes, the poorest person has the richest soul. And sometimes, the one who is hated becomes the one who saves.